Hey everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Raid Shadow Legends, and it's time to talk about one of our newest champions coming to the game. With this new patch, we have a new character, a new Shadowkin, and he is super cool. Just look at his aesthetics, as always. They do not disappoint. I'm just confused. It seems like it's his head. I hope not. That's weird. Anyway. But what I wanted to do, because this champion was announced as the most recent upcoming 10 times event alongside of a 2 times sacred that happens to be during this fusion, I feel like we're gonna have some people pulling shards, so why not give him a test at some areas in the game? Let's start with simple Clan Boss Bateater. Now, that's what I kind of do as my go-to when it comes to a Clan Boss champion for DPS. I try to see if they will work as the DPS in a Bateater. Are they going to be an easy 1-key no matter all affinity? Are they going to struggle a little bit when they're weak affinity? How close is it? How much damage potential do we really have? So I have him here, and we knew he'd be good for Clan Boss, right? I mean, we have an HP burn on the A1 that does great damage in Clan Boss. The A2 is a decreased defense and a decreased attack. Decreased attack, of course, is not necessary if you're doing an unkillable type comp. But, so he could definitely be useful in standard traditional Clan Boss teams as well, the killable versions. We also have a Hex on the A3. Now, Hex normally does nothing in Clan Boss, but it is his passive that allows Hex to have an actual purpose. Now, I was thinking he was going to be good when paired up with other champions that also do Hex that are good for Clan Boss, but honestly, watching my run back, he keeps Hex up himself just fine, so you don't really need to. But it's this passive. Whenever an ally attacks an enemy under a Hex debuff, this champion has a 50% chance to team up and join the ally attack. In watching the run, I would say it seems to happen a lot more than 50%, but it was really fun to watch this run. He also has a defense in all battles aura. So if you're running a Bateater like I am, there's no useful aura, but you could put him as the lead because his defense is based on damage, so at the very least you're going to help boost his damage. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to run the Bateater key. I'm going to show you guys the beginning with the presets, a little bit of the beginning setup. I'm going to skip right to the end because nobody needs to watch an entire Clan Boss Bateater run. It gets kind of boring, right guys? So let's just watch a little bit, and then we will show you guys the builds for all my champions and talk about some of the situations here and kind of discuss, is it viable for all affinity or do we need to tweak anything? But let's get to that, and I'll cut to the end of the video.
I'm going off, I know it's time to make a change, and I can take the pain. You wanna sink or swim? I'm gonna go down swinging. Look deep within. I get lost in the feeling. I just need a win. I'm gonna find my meaning. I can make a change. I wanna play the game. You wanna sink or swim? I'm gonna go down swinging. Look deep within. I get lost in the feeling. I just need a win. I'm going off, I know it's time to make a change, and I can take the pain. You wanna sink or swim? I'm gonna go down swinging. Look deep within. I get lost in the feeling. I just need a win. I'm gonna find my meaning. I can make a change. I wanna play the game, yeah.
Alright, and as you guys know, if you've watched my videos, I typically use Ragnar Goldgleam as my DPS for a Bateater team. He has decreased defense and weaken, and he has leech, which allows for more retribution procs, and he gives me a 100% success rate of all affinities with Ultra Nightmare with a Bateater comp. So this new champion, what do you guys think? I think it seemed pretty solid to me. Based on the damage, I do think we have solid potential for a 1-key all affinities, even his weak affinity of force. I think he's still going to do okay. I mean, it's not like dramatically over the 1-key. It's not well into the 80s or whatever. So I guess that's a little bit debatable. But I mean, I don't have crazy stats on him. I have 100% crit rate, 239 crit damage. This could be better. Depending on your gear, this could be better. I didn't steal from my Ragnar to get better crit actually, no, I stole one piece from Ragnar to get better damage, I think. Or did I? Maybe not. No. No, I didn't. Anyway, 4,500 defense. He is defense based for his damage. I'm sure this could be better depending on the champion as well. Depending on your account, this might be able to be better. And yeah, accuracy enough to land. I did get him at the same speed as my Ragnar pretty much. But yeah, I feel like he's okay. I feel like this was pretty solid, and we're going to talk about the rest of my comp and what you maybe could do to push through for some extra damage as well. But if you're having trouble with the force affinity, if you decide to use him as your main source of DPS, just make sure you try to have anything extra like revenge accessories are going to be really helpful to help have extra chances to counterattack. Make sure your masteries are set. We want that retribution mastery just for chances for it to proc. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't heal up crazy because we don't have that leech, so we don't get as many retribution procs as I'm used to with my Ragnar, because we're not dropping as much of a dramatic bit of HP as we do with that, but it's all right. Still happens a little bit, at least for some of the fight. I do have him with War Master Mastery, of course, and Leech for a little bit of healing back up. Or sorry, the Lifesteal Mastery for a little bit of healing back up, Life Drinker. And of course, crit rate, crit damage, the basics, typical Bateater build. I do have him fully skilled because we want the chances to land everything. We want the cooldown. We want to come back to that as much as possible. And same here, we want to make sure that he keeps up his Hex debuff on his own, no problem, which certainly seems to be fine. I would say I could also see you going here for the chance to extend the HP burns and the Hex. That might make it even better. If things are falling off, you might want to use Master Hexer instead of this, because the reality when we use this Retribution Mastery, if we don't have a big heal happening somewhere, you don't really proc it that often, because it takes... If a champion loses 25% of their max HP or more from a single skill hit. So once you get low on health and you're only healing back up so much, if you're not healing back to that 25% range and coming back down again, you're really not going to be proccing that much retribution. So depending on the comp and who's in it, it's not necessary, and you might benefit more if you're having trouble getting that 1-key. You might benefit more from Lore of Steel to just increase your overall stats. and Master Hexer to make sure we keep up the debuffs. And same thing, maybe Sniper for a better chance to land the HP burn on the A1. But it seemed to stay up pretty darn well, honestly. You also, so let me just show you guys, yeah, fully skilled. I'll show you guys my other champions as well. Honestly, I think, again, as just another option, if you can't quite hit the right stats to make this an easy 1-key, maybe you put one of the Maneaters in a Toxic set. So I'm going to quickly show you my Maneater. Here's my Masteries. He's in just standard gear with speed, nothing special. Of course, guys, make sure you're referencing Deadwood Jedi's website with the Bateater tune for speed if you need to. That's going to make it easy just to make sure you're within the range. You don't need to have these exact speeds. There's a little bit of a range there, so don't worry. You don't need my exact speeds if you're trying to do this for the first time. But he's all right. He does pretty good. we have this one in here with a crit damage set. My trouble is if I try to put him in a toxic set, I really kill my wonderful crit damage here, which I don't want to do. It ended up being less damage or about the same with a toxic set, but like 220 crit damage, so it wasn't worth it for me when I tried doing that recently for sake of another comp, like with the last one with Marinix. But he's got okay attack, nothing crazy. Maneaters are super simple to build. Again, same thing, same masteries here. We are using, of course, Painkeeper? Oh, and I have Seeker. I forgot Seeker. But yeah, we have Painkeeper here, also Retribution. She's in a Toxic set. She's in my better version of a Toxic set, which has decent attack. So if anything, I might want to put this on a Maneater one of these days and give her a lesser Toxic set and see what happens. But you want to be careful. If you have two champions in a Toxic set in a comp like this champion does put up decreased defense, decreased attack, Hex, and HP burn. So if you have too many Toxic set procs happening, you might end up with a full debuff bar and miss out on something important like the decreased defense. So just keep that in mind and watch your debuff bar. If you could only have 10 debuffs up at a time. So if that's the case, you might be a little bit risky there, and you might not want two people in a Toxic set. So that's just one thing to watch out for with one of these kind of comps. All right, so of course she's fully booked as well. And then we do have a Seeker here. Where's my Seeker? Well, I have a Seeker somewhere. Seeker was in my vault. I do have him in a Cruel set just for a little extra chance of defense, but Clan Boss doesn't have crazy defense, so it's really not that great, honestly. Not that important. We do have okay attack here, the right speeds, 100% crit rate, and I would love to get more crit damage on my Seeker, but that's for another day. And then, of course, about the same masteries for everyone with War Master masteries, and of course, everyone is booked. Yeah, I think that was a pretty solid 1-key. I think he is an amazing champion for Clan Boss. He's definitely fit for more than just a Bateater. He could be great for traditional Clan Boss comps. I'm sure he could be inserted into all sorts of other killable and unkillable comps for that matter. So definitely take advantage of this new champion if you're lucky enough to pull him with the 10 times event. I don't think you'll be disappointed. He seems like a lot of fun, and he's got a really great kit for Clan Boss. He's got a great kit for Hydra Clan Boss. I think I'm going to have some fun playing around with him here on the test server while I have the chance. But that's all for now. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.